In episode 33, Lessons Learned and Checklist Sweep, we explore how yesterday's surprises become tomorrow's safeguards. Every project leaves behind a trail of insights, some painful, some triumphant, but unless those insights are harvested, they fade into organizational amnesia. Risk management thrives on memory. Lessons learned and checklists transform scattered recollections into practical foresight. They remind teams where trouble once hid and where success left clues. A disciplined sweep of past experience gives shape to future preparation, ensuring that institutional wisdom keeps pace with change. In this episode, we learn how to extract that wisdom efficiently and apply it where it counts.
The first step is to source repositories across portfolios and programs. Lessons rarely live in one place. They hide in after-action reviews, audit findings, post-project summaries, and even informal notes. A facilitator gathers these materials from across the enterprise, building a centralized knowledge stream. Cross-project collection prevents each team from reinventing awareness in isolation. By drawing patterns across domains, construction, finance, technology, logistics, organizations see how recurring themes transcend context. The diversity of sources adds strength. One project's oversight often mirrors another's future challenge. Mining the past becomes not nostalgia, but risk intelligence in motion.
To uncover the most valuable lessons, pull from three veins: failures, near misses, and wins. Failures show what went wrong. Near misses show what almost did. Wins reveal what went right and why. Studying only failure distorts perspective, while blending successes clarifies which behaviors prevent collapse. A balanced sample tells the full story of performance under uncertainty. Facilitators treat each case as data, not drama, extracting insight from event, response, and outcome. This approach replaces blame with curiosity. Every mistake or triumph becomes a controlled experiment in organizational learning, its value realized only when codified. Translating anecdotes into generalized risks turns storytelling into system intelligence. Teams often recall incidents as vivid memories. The vendor delayed testing last time, or communication failed during rollout. To become reusable knowledge, these must be abstracted into risk statements like, if supplier commitments are not verified early, timelines may slip. The facilitator removes personal details, keeping causal logic intact while generalizing context. Each generalized risk becomes a reusable pattern, a template for foresight. In effect, lessons learned are raw material. Abstraction refines them into tools that future teams can apply confidently without repeating the same conditions. Checklists are the tangible expression of this learning, a way to make memory actionable. But they must remain lightweight and living. A checklist is not a substitute for thinking, it is a prompt for it. Each item represents a hard-earned insight captured in plain, verifiable language. Too many items breed fatigue, so the list must prioritize essentials, the high-frequency, high-impact points that consistently affect outcomes. Lightweight checklists invite routine use, while living checklists evolve with feedback. They are less an archive than a dashboard for readiness, ensuring that collective wisdom travels easily between teams and generations. Mapping checklist items to objectives ensures alignment with real goals rather than generic compliance. Each prompt should connect directly to an operational or strategic objective, such as safety, schedule, or stakeholder satisfaction. Without that linkage, checklists risk becoming hollow ritual. When users see how each item protects a specific goal, commitment strengthens. The facilitator periodically validates these links to confirm relevance. Mapping transforms the checklist from a static list of to-dos into a structured safety net woven around what the organization truly values. Alignment is the difference between memory as bureaucracy and memory as strategy. Pre-flight reviews use these checklists before major milestones to confirm readiness. Whether launching a new system, closing a design phase, or entering production, a brief review surfaces forgotten dependencies and verifies that assumptions still hold. The goal is not perfection, but confidence that known pitfalls are addressed. Conducted early, pre-flight reviews function like rehearsal, revealing friction while correction remains inexpensive. They shift mindset from reactive correction to proactive assurance. The facilitator leads concisely, focusing on evidence rather than opinion. Pre-flight review is institutional foresight in practice, turning checklists into preventative action. Post-flight captures complete the loop within 24 hours of milestone completion. Memory decays rapidly. Documenting while events remain fresh preserves detail and emotion that later reflection dilutes. The team notes what worked, what failed, and what almost failed. Quick capture prevents lessons from becoming folklore. It also reinforces learning behavior, treating closure as discovery rather than merely relief. A 24-hour rule keeps discipline high and excuses low. In this window, reflection is sharpest and most honest, giving the next team a cleaner record of reality rather than reconstruction from hindsight. Avoiding checklist theater is crucial. When checklists become box-ticking exercises, they lose credibility and waste time. Facilitators guard against rote compliance by emphasizing purpose over form. Instead of asking, "Did you check the box?" they ask, "What evidence supports this check?" Engagement deepens when users see that each item matters. A checklist is only as alive as the thinking it provokes. Leaders model this mindset by treating reviews as opportunities for learning, not audits for blame. Avoiding theater preserves authenticity, the difference between ritual and responsibility. Stale checklist items must be retired as emerging ones arise. Conditions evolve. What was critical 2 years ago may now be irrelevant. Regular pruning keeps lists sharp and believable. Adding new items from recent lessons demonstrates responsiveness and respect for practitioners' experience. Retirement is not loss, but renewal, the shedding of outdated skin so new awareness can grow. Review cycles should be deliberate, perhaps quarterly, to maintain momentum. This rhythm ensures that checklists reflect living reality, not history frozen in policy documents. Freshness sustains trust and engagement among those who use them. Sharing improvements back to repositories closes the knowledge loop. When teams update checklists or refine lessons, those updates should feed into the central repository for others to access. Knowledge flow must be two-way. Archives inform projects, and projects enrich archives. The facilitator ensures this exchange by establishing submission channels and lightweight review protocols. Shared learning prevents fragmentation, where insights stay trapped in local drives. Over time, the organization develops a living memory network, distributed yet coherent, adaptive yet disciplined. Shared reflection becomes a hallmark of its culture. To demonstrate value, measure how checklists prevent defects or mitigate recurrence. Metrics can include incidents avoided, errors detected early, or rework hours saved. Quantifying prevention makes learning tangible and protects the initiative from budget cuts disguised as efficiency drives. These measures also refine focus. If certain checklist items rarely catch issues, they can be replaced with more useful prompts. Measuring prevention shifts conversation from compliance burden to performance gain, proving that memory saves money as well as effort. The best checklists are short and memorable. Cognitive science shows that humans recall and apply no more than a dozen items under stress. Brevity enforces clarity. Every word must earn its space. Visual cues, grouped themes, or rhythmic phrasing can improve recall. A short checklist read and used beats a long one ignored. The art lies in distilling complex experience into compact reminders, anchors for attention rather than encyclopedias of knowledge. Memorable checklists keep insight close at hand, where it can influence behavior in real time. Institutional memory reduces repeats. Lessons learned and checklists transform hindsight into foresight by converting surprise into structure. They keep organizations from walking the same blind alleys twice. Maintaining them requires humility, the willingness to admit that even experts forget and that reminders protect quality, not pride. When memory is managed as deliberately as data, resilience multiplies. Yesterday's errors become tomorrow's early warnings. With disciplined reflection and continuous renewal, the organization learns faster than its environment changes, and that is the ultimate form of risk advantage. Thanks for listening. For more audio courses, daily newsletters, and more, please visit DailyCyber.News.